other than we have some issues. And I'm not talking protests. I'm not talking riots. I'm not talking rallies. I'm talking COVID-19 again. The COVID, we have our first positive test on the PGA Tour. Nick Watney is the first. So everybody got tested on Monday, the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Everybody got tested Monday. Everybody was negative Monday. Today, Nick Watney tested positive. Immediately had to withdraw. Because after the round yesterday, or this morning rather, he indicated he had symptoms consistent with the virus. He took a COVID-19 test. He's positive. He's out. So now he's got to isolate, quarantine for about 10 days nearby. So it's interesting because they are testing everybody multiple times, as they should. Monday, no positives. Today, a positive. Where'd he get it? Who knows? With 300 and some tests, 369 tests on Monday. Were no positives. But today, Nick Watney is positive. Brooks Koepka came out and said, man, it's unfortunate. Hopefully it stays with just him, quote, and doesn't spread because I think we'll have a big issue on our hands if it keeps going as the weeks continue, end quote. That's Brooks Koepka. The thing is Watney yesterday had some playing partners like you do in a PGA. Now, they didn't shake hands. A couple of his playing partners were Luke List and Vaughn Taylor. All were told today. Taylor said he has no symptoms. Hopes Nick's doing well, he says. He's going to go get tested today. The entire group's getting tested. That includes caddies and everybody that was in the group. That's just that. Okay? That's just that. PGA. How about this news? Get to it. Tampa Bay hockey players, Tampa Bay Lightning, players and staff have tested positive in Tampa Bay. Shut down the arena. NHL is trying to restart its season. Philadelphia Phillies players. Now, it's not known if they're major league players or minor league players, but there's more than 5 positive tests in Florida with Philadelphia Phillies players. I think Dunedin, Florida. Baseball's trying to make a comeback. Orlando, Florida, a hot spot. That's where the NBA plans to make its comeback in a month and a half. And then there's this. Clemson Athletics announced Friday, today, 28 positive COVID-19 tests. 23 of them on the football team. The other are staff members. "23 football players." But people are staying positive on the Twitter, right? Well, this is a good thing. It means they brought it in from elsewhere. How the hell is that a good thing? It means they brought it in from elsewhere. And this is what I've been saying for weeks now. This is just the beginning, folks. Man, these sports and these communities better hope and pray that by the time they get all these athletes back on campus, there's not bigger outbreaks. But here's the thing. When everybody comes back to campus in August across the entire country, you're still at risk. Your football season is at risk. Your volleyball season is at risk. Your soccer. At this point, we aren't sure about basketball. And this is, again, why it's okay to overreact and yet at the same time still be concerned. Because we just don't know. And there is not one of you sitting out there listening or watching or wherever that can promise that it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen in Bozeman, where Gallatin County's already had a huge population burst of COVID twice now. It's not going to happen in Missoula, really. It could. You got all these athletes coming back from wherever. And like I said, especially the frontier schools. Think about the front. I said this yesterday. Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona is where a lot of frontier players come from for football and other sports. That's a lot of COVID possibly coming back, especially from Arizona, especially from Washington. Oklahoma's gotten a huge, huge burst of COVID. Surge, they call it. Montana's going to get hit hard, and it'll be worse than it was in March. And I hate to say that because I want stuff to open. I want stuff to happen. It's great. We've got Legion Baseball. We've got a couple of rodeos here and there. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. And then there you got Dr. Fauci coming out and saying the experts misled, I think was the line, about early indication. Yeah, no duh. Got to watch the mouth here. Look at Miles City, Custer County. Officials say that Custer County health officials have recommended that businesses and gathering places in Custer County, which include Miles City, revert back to phase 1 of the reopening plan. Miles City has 15 active cases. Check it. Custer County has 15 active cases and 19 total. Okay, that doesn't seem like a lot. But if you've been to Custer County, it's pretty rural. It's not like Bozeman or Missoula or Helena or Billings or bigger cities where everybody's out and about. Clemson has 23 positive tests on its football team. Just like Texas, which I think had 25. Huge numbers. That's a quarter of your football team. What if, and what if, hear me out here, football players come back to Helena, to Carroll College, and a quarter of the Saints have the COVID? What if that happens? Then what? Or Rocky, or Western, or Tech, or Northern, or the Cats, or the Grizz. Then what? That's a quarter of your football team. What if they're your star players? The NBA's worried. What if LeBron gets it? Protect LeBron at all costs. Hey, screw LeBron. Never been a LeBron fan. But if he gets it, he's healthy. He's an NBA player, right? We don't want anybody to get it, but people are. What happens on the PGA Tour if more than just Nick Watney has the COVID? What happens then? PGA Tour just started last weekend. Started back up again. No fans. They're supposed to be allowing fans at the Memorial soon. Is that now done and over with? Possibly. We don't know. It's just something to think about, folks, because 23 Clemson Tigers have tested positive. Campuses just reopened a couple weeks ago. Some campuses still haven't opened. So when that does happen, and you get all these tests, and this is just football. This isn't volleyball. The NCAA says basketball teams can come back in July. Well, what happens when they come back with it? because it's going to happen. Not everybody lives in the community where the school plays its sports. And I don't think anybody realizes that. You look at a football roster in the state of Montana, okay? Look at Carroll College. You've got players from all over. Wyoming, Montana, Washington, Idaho, Oregon, California, Arizona. Hot spots of COVID. And with all the peaceful protests going on across the country, in the Seattle area, in the Portland area, where a lot of players come from, you're going to see more COVIDs. You're going to. But prepare. I'm just saying, prepare for not having a fall sports season. Just prepare. Big hello to my friend Sheila watching. Are you guys in Illinois still? Her husband Morgan is I don't know, he's super high in the Navy. He's really cool. Great friend of the family. But Sheila and the Morgans watching. I think they're still in Great Lakes. But I think they were going to be moving soon. But I don't know. California girl who spent a couple of winters in Illinois. Oh, Sheila, we love you. Anyway, all right. COVID's not done. But it's kind of taken a back seat, remember, because we have all these peaceful protests. Peaceful. See the curfew put on Tulsa last night? Only in the area where the Trump rally is supposed to happen tomorrow, though. Interesting. They were removing people who'd been camped out for days. You can have protests. That's okay, but you can't have a rally. Because COVID is huge. Nobody gets COVID at a protest, but they'll get it at a Trump rally. That's headlines across the nation. Trump rally will cause COVID outbreaks. But protests won't.
Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe the Photography. Auto Enhancement Professionals. Mark has been shooting beautiful home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too.
Who doesn't love being
Auto
number
Concepts
one?
also
when your
has
team's
gift
dominating the
certificates
standings,
for dad or
your
yourself.
favorite band rocks
Visit
the charts at number one.
AutoConceptsHelena.com.
It feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Who doesn't love being number one? Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Junior's anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show, on a finally Friday inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Had like 3 different audios going. It was weird. So we got like 18 different things going on our computer screen. That's just to run the show. So we got it fixed. We're good. So still to come, Jesse Cruz, big Saddle Bronc event coming up in Jordan on Sunday. I'm looking forward to it. I can't decide if I should go or not. It's as long to get to Jordan from Helena than it is to get to as it is to get to Spokane. It's the same amount of time. That's a hike. But I think I can do it. I don't know. It's Father's Day. Do I want to? I don't know. We'll let you know. We are going to talk to Jesse Cruz, who will be competing in that coming up. All right. But I want to get to our next guest, our first guest today on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All of our guests appear courtesy of the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Tomorrow, by the way, we're also going to get Merrick at the Movies coming up. Football movies. Merrick took a couple of weeks off, and Merrick's back. So, all right. So, tomorrow, the 152nd running of the Belmont. I keep wanting to say the 156th. I don't know why. 4 years from now, when this show is still on the air, who knows what we'll be talking about, but will be the 156th. But right now, tomorrow, it's the 152nd. It is normally the last in the Triple Crown races, but this time it is going to be the first. And we'll talk to Barry Abrams coming up in just a couple of seconds on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Don't forget, we have On This Day in History still to come, and other great, let's see, the walk-off. And if you can tell, I didn't get the Barry Abrams interview loaded up, so that's what we're doing right now. Today is that. We'll do this, then we go here, and we go here, and then we hope our computer system doesn't crash, because it did yesterday, which was terrible. But I think we can get now to Barry Abrams, Mike Miller, State Farm Hotline. This segment, by the way, brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Well, he is a great friend of the show, and I welcome you back, Barry, because I just enjoy talking with you about horse racing. And the last time we talked, we were talking about, are we even going to have horse racing this year? Well, now we get to the Belmont 156 run, or 52nd running of it, starting tomorrow. This is exciting. I know there won't be fans in the stands, but this is an exciting time for horse racing fans in general.
Well, it's great to have racing back at the highest level. And even during the break, you had a few tracks running, Gulfstream Park being the most notable. But what these tracks needed to convince their respective local governments about was that it actually takes more people to train the horses in the afternoon than it does in the morning, than it does to race them in the afternoon. And training was always allowed to continue even during the shutdown. So it obviously took the local governments one by one some time to come to themselves about that, but they realized that these racetracks are basically self-contained cities where the grooms and the hot walkers live. They live in dormitories at the track most of the time. Mm-hmm. And so, the trainers have to come in, the jockeys have to come in. And in the case of Santa Anita, they actually brought in trailers and said to the riders, "You're not leaving. you're not going home to your families. You are staying here, and we will test you, etc. And so they really did turn their track into a self-contained city, almost like watching the Truman Show.
Barry Abrams, our guest here. Jason Walker Show is the host of In the Gate podcast. How will the betting be affected with nobody at Belmont? Or will
most betting takes place off track, either at betting parlors, which obviously can't happen, and online on your phone through what are called advanced deposit wagering sites. Most betting happens there nowadays. And so, you know, when Fonner Park in Nebraska was racing during the shutdown, their handle was off the charts. And when Oaklawn Park ran the Arkansas Derby in 2 divisions on what would have been Kentucky Derby Day, the first Saturday of May, they more than doubled their all-time highest handle for one day.
Wow.
More than doubled it. So in-home wagering, off-track wagering has certainly matured in this market. And so that's another reason why racing was so eager to get back, because they have the infrastructure to make money even with nobody at the track.
Crazy. So the Belmont is historically the longest, but they're shortening it up a little bit. Why is that?
You know, racing was one of the first sports to come back. These horses still did not get to prepare properly by running the races you would run prior to the Kentucky Derby and then the Derby and then the Preakness. And the Belmont, being 1.5 miles on dirt, is extremely testing. And these horses were just not ready. It's like baseball players have to go through spring training before they're ready to start the season. They're certainly not in mid-season form, and you couldn't just play the World Series without having played a series of games. So New York Racing understood that. They really wanted to run the race in June, so they changed the conditions. They took 3/8 of a mile away from it and made it not only 1 1/8 miles, but because Belmont Park is so big, it's only run around one turn. It's a long run down the backstretch out of the chute on the backstretch, and then one turn. And the turns are very difficult. So now they only have to run one of them. So that definitely makes the race physically easier on the horses, who are all rounding into form right now.
Barry Abrams, our guest here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. All right, let's start talking about some of the favorites, and then we have to start with Tiz the Law. Has won, I think, 4 out of 5 races, and including a couple of big ones this year in the Florida Derby and the Holy Bull Stakes at Gulfstream.
Right. The only race where he didn't win was last November at Churchill Downs on a track that had a lot of moisture on it. The times he's run without moisture, he's won. And there's a slight chance of rain in New York tomorrow, but not extraordinary. So the conditions favor him. And he is the only horse in this field who has won twice at the highest level of racing, grade 1 caliber races. The Triple Crown races are all grade 1 caliber. Mm-hmm. He won the Champaign last fall, and then his most recent start in the Florida Derby. But that start was at the end of March. He has not run since the end of March because of the shutdown. So part of this may not be class, but who's ready to race? And the horse that ran the most recently is Sole Volante, who ran 10 days ago. So even though he's probably not in the class of Tiz the Law, he may be better seasoned and ready to go when the gate opens tomorrow.
Barry Abrams joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And I know Tiz the Law is the favorite, but when you look at the 10 horses that are in the field, 4 Left has been getting a lot of play the last couple of days. And a lot of people on social media are taking 4 Left, it looks like.
Yeah, I'm not real big on 4 Left. I mean, he was brought over to Dubai by Doug O'Neill, who was going to run some horses there, and it didn't work out. I mean, he ran once and he won. It was a minor race. He didn't get to run in the UAE Derby because of the shutdown. I don't think he's nearly the caliber of horse of Tiz the Law or even Sole Volante. So I think some people are trying to outthink themselves. But if you're looking for horses to upset Tiz the Law, Sole Volante, to me, is consistent. He's consistently second best, second tier, but he is very consistent, and he could jump up with a better performance. But the horse that I would look at is Dr. Post, who is one of the two horses trained by Todd Pletcher, who was Bob Baffert before Bob Baffert.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Baffert does not have a horse in this race, by the way. Dr. Post has only run 3 times and hasn't run since the end of April. Didn't really beat anybody great in winning a minor stakes race in Florida at Gulfstream, but looked really good doing it. And he has the best jockey in the country on him in Irad Ortiz, and I think he's going to sit right behind the early speed, and there's not a lot of early speed here, just the one horse, Tap It to Win. I think he's going to have a chance. And with only 10 horses in this race and coming out of the chute at Belmont Park with big, wide, sweeping turns, post position really doesn't matter. So it's just a question of who's the best horse. Tiz the Law is the best on paper, but again, you don't know how ready any of these horses are to win, so you might as well go for an upset play, and Dr. Post, I think, has a chance.
You mentioned where they come out of in the starting gate. Barclay Tagg, the trainer for Tiz the Law, it seemed on Wednesday he was a little disappointed with the 8 post. He wanted somewhere in that 5 to 7, but you just said at Belmont it really doesn't make a difference. Is he just playing the media a little bit here, or is he really upset?
He's not a media darling at all. He's a cranky guy, so I really wouldn't. I mean, I've never heard the guy be effusive about anything. I really wouldn't put anything into that.
Okay.
And really, post position doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter in the Belmont Stakes when it's run around 2 turns, typically at 1.5 miles. It really doesn't matter coming out of that chute, because it is such a long run down that back stretch that a good rider, and Manny Franco is a terrific rider, he rides Tiz the Law, they will have a chance to put their horses wherever they want by the time they hit the turn. So no, I wouldn't make a big deal about that at all.
Barry Abrams joining us from Connecticut. In the Gate podcast is the place you can listen to and break down all of this stuff, but he's a great friend of the show. You mentioned some of the jockeys. Who's the best jockey of all time, in your opinion?
Of all time, it'd be tough to argue against Eddie Arcaro,
right,
who won 2 Triple Crowns on Whirlaway and Citation, 5 Kentucky Derbies. It would be tough to argue against him. Bill Shoemaker, I think, was the master of winning with any different style. He was a lifelong horseman from the Bayou and had ridden any kind of horse. And I say that because jockeys often try to either adapt a horse to their style, because jockeys have styles. Some like to go really hard out of the gate, and they like to be on horses that go to the early lead. Some are the opposite. They like to be on come-from-behinders. If you remember Calvin Borel, 3-time winning Kentucky Derby jockey, you knew where he was going. He was going to take his horses down to the fence, try to take the shortest way around, which a horse has to be very brave to do, because that rail is right next to them. So every jockey has a style. Bill Shoemaker could win on anything. He could take a come-from-behinder, a speed horse, a horse that liked to be on the outside in the clear, or a horse that liked to be covered up behind others, with others breaking that wind. He could win on anything. So it'd be tough to argue against him, but I think Arcaro was probably the best.
And does he still have the record for most wins, or has that been broken?
The record is held by a man named Russell Bays, at least in North America. Russell Bays, who ran most of his career in Northern California at Golden Gate Fields and the now defunct Bay Meadows. And he didn't run a heck of a lot of top-level races. Once in a while, but he was one of what you would call, and I hate to use this word, it's not fair to him, a compiler. You know, somebody who isn't necessarily the dominant guy in his field, but just keeps putting up numbers. That was Russell Bays. And it's unfair to call him a compiler because he never really aspired to be the king of the sport and try to, like, get his way into the Hall of Fame just on numbers alone. He was just very comfortable doing his job in Northern California, coming to work every day, winning 3 or 4 races in a Jockey Cup. It would be in England, clockwise, as opposed to North America, where the races are run counterclockwise.
Oh, okay.
And it was not even run at Belmont Park because that didn't exist yet. It was run at Jerome Park, which was in the Bronx, which doesn't exist anymore. So there have been many incarnations of the Belmont Stakes, and it's amazing that it actually preceded Belmont Park.
That is kind of crazy because, and then is it Elmont, New York that it's run? It's not even Belmont.
Right. It's Elmont, New York is the name of the town, and it's right on the Nassau County, Queens border.
Okay.
Why that matters is because of tax purposes. Is it taxed at Nassau County rates or Queens? Queens is New York City. And, oh, by the way, that's also where the New York Islanders hockey team are building their arena in the backyard of Belmont Park because the area is so massive that now it's actually going to hold a 19 or 17,000 seat hockey rink.
Wow.
And my dream as a lifelong Islanders fan is for the Belmont Stakes to occur on the day of Game 4 or 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. That would be my greatest dream, is to see something like that.
Or a Game 7, which would be even more awesome because there's nothing better than a Game 7 in hockey.
That would scare the heck out of me.
So are you a baseball fan then?
Let's go Mets. Hashtag Let's go Mets.
Oh my gosh. We are just becoming best friends. I'm a Mets fan. I go way back to 84 when my first year in baseball. I've been a Mets fan ever since.
Well, I'm a little older than you. I go way back to 76.
Okay. Yeah. Just barely, but yeah.
Not a lot to write home about. 76 to like 83.
Yeah, till they traded away Tom Seaver, and then were terrible till they got Keith Hernandez, who were traded on the same day.
Right, and they only gave up Neil Allen and Rick Ownby to get Keith Hernandez, one of the great leaders in the history of baseball.
Unbelievable. Yeah, we'll have to talk baseball. I thought we could only talk horse racing, but we'll talk baseball sometimes too, Barry. This is great.
If you dropped a bomb on the world right now and left just one sport on Earth, to me, that sport would have to be baseball.
Really? They're not even going to play this year, though. That's the tough part.
It really is amazing to see millionaires continue to fight with billionaires, isn't it?
I know, especially with everything that's been going on right now. So, but your pick. All right.
It's hard to believe that they can't figure this out.
I know it's frustrating, but we can always say the Mets went undefeated this year, no matter what, if they don't play.
That works for me.
Okay, Barry. Final question. I know Tiz the Law is the favorite. Who are you picking tomorrow in the 152nd running of the Belmont?
I think Tiz the Law finishes over Dr. Post and Sole Volante as my top 3.
All right, so that's your ticket right there. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make a lot of money with it, but it's a start.
There you go. Hey, Barry, I always appreciate the time. I look forward to chatting with you for sure in September for the Derby and October for the Preakness. And who knows, maybe we'll get something crazy happen this week, and we'll chat again soon.
Well, remember, when the Derby happens, there are going to be a couple of horses there who ran 2 weeks ago in the Santa Anita Derby, Honor AP and Authentic, who will provide much more opposition for the winner of the Belmont. So the gauntlet will get tougher come September.
I like that. That's a good way to end it because it's a great tease. Barry Abrams, In the Gate podcast. You can check him out. And as always, man, I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon.
Anytime, Jason.
Oh, Barry Abrams. He is so much fun. And I've been chatting with him for, a little over a year now. And just gets better and better. And we're going to talk more now. You know he's a Mets fan. Good. I mean, what a great dude. All right. So there you go. Tiz the Law is going to win tomorrow. You can bet. Get your bet in. You heard Barry take his trifecta there. So, all right. Appreciate Barry joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. This segment brought to you by Ruckers Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Ruckers Furniture, 1010 Dearborn in Helena. Okay, take a break. We're going to come back, and when we do, we're going to talk some Saddle Bronc. There is a huge Saddle Bronc event at Jordan, Montana this week, and we'll talk next to Jesse Cruz. Hang on.
June is anniversary month at Rucker's Furniture, and you won't believe the savings you'll find on the largest selection of home furnishings in Helena. At Rucker's, you'll find sofas, sleepers, recliners, reclining sofas, leather, bedroom, dining room, occasional tables, entertainment consoles, Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in town, and more. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. For great values on new looks for your home, shop the anniversary sale at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Father's Day is coming fast, and what more would that great dad in your life want than a full detail from Auto Concepts? Or maybe he would just prefer a lift kit. It's also camping season, and now is the perfect time to outfit that rig with a winch just in case. Auto Concepts is your home for everything for your vehicle, including updating your car stereo system too. Auto Concepts also has gift certificates for dad or yourself. Visit AutoConceptsHelena.com. Auto Concepts, the auto enhancement professionals.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Do you love to look at photos of Montana, from animals to landscapes and more? Are you looking for a place to get your senior pictures or family portraits done? Are you a business owner looking to upgrade the decor in your offices? Well, look no further than Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark has been shooting beautiful photos all across the Treasure State, from rodeos to portraits, and would love to work with you. Visit marklaroephotography.com to see many masterpieces of his work, then give him a call to schedule your own photo shoot. Or to purchase one of his fantastic pieces, stop by Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery on Custer in Helena. marklaroephotography.com.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show on a finally Friday here inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave. If you missed anything, you can go to jasonwalkershow.com. Find out your trifecta on who to bet on for tomorrow's Belmont. Barry Abrams gave you the picks. All right, we continue on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. You can, let's see, if I do this camera angle, that right there is Dick Lyman at the Townsend NRA Rodeo a couple of years ago, bringing in the horses. That's just a beautiful photo. Mark LaRoe took that. So you can go online and order it. All right, I want to bring in my next guest on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. He is a fantastic, just good dude. And he's pretty good in rodeo, too. His name is Jesse Cruz. How are you, my friend?
How you doing today?
I'm happy. It's Friday. The weather's finally nice. It's not raining, which is awesome. But, yeah. And we get to talk about a little bit of a rodeo here and there. So it's good. It's good.
Now that they're kind of somewhat drying off.
Yeah. Hey, before we get going, you guys moved. You and the family moving from Winston area over to the Red Lodge area, and that's a big move. But now you're further away from the Jason Walker Show.
Yeah. No, we moved from Winston. Well, and now we're over in the Fromberg Edgar area, and we're liking it over here. So keeping us busy, trying to get stuff going. So.
It's just great following you guys around, and I got to know you guys, I guess, the last 5-6 years, and the kids are growing. Lindsay, your wife, and Paisley have the same shoe size I see now.
Yeah, that's what I heard yesterday.
That is fantastic. Which means
Yep.
Paisley's got about the same boot size as you too, then, right?
My business.
That's pretty close. Jesse Cruz joining us here, Jason Walker Show. All right. There is a big saddle bronc event this week at Jordan, and you talk about some of the best. Holy cow. How honored are you to be a part of this?
Oh, really honored. For one, Sparky and Boots are going to be putting it on, and those guys do a great job, have great horses, and it's just a fun, good time having both match.
It's, you're in there. There's 4 flights, and it's crazy, Jesse, because these are names that we're normally going to see all summer long in PRCA rodeos, but without PRCA, this might be the one chance all year that people get to see this collection of riders. Why should we all head out to Jordan?
Oh, shoot, it's, like I said, the horses are going to be outstanding, especially with those 2 guys, and, like you said, you've got NFR guys. Pretty much everybody that's won the rodeo is entered at this Susan Stride banner. It's gonna pretty outstanding watch.
All the rights are going to be there, which
Yep.
immediately just perks up your interest, especially if you're a young lady, because Rusty and Ryder are both going to be there.
Yeah. That'd be good.
But this is so much fun. You got 3 great stock contractors, and we talk a lot about the Sankeys and the Kesslers, but when you talk J-Bar J and Championship Rodeo and Birch, I mean, these are some great broncs, like you said. There's no question about that.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be with those 2 there, they're gonna dang sure have a good even pin, and it's gonna be a bronc match, that's for sure.
Like I said, 4 sections. What section are you in? Are you in the 4th?
Third.
Third, yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find. I can't even find your name right now. I'm finding everybody else's though. Cody Demos, Court Shear, Zeke Thurston.
3rd section.
You are in the 3rd. There you are. You're on a Birch Rodeo bronc named Beneficial. What do you know about the horse?
Absolutely nothing.
Is that good or bad?
I guess we'll find out when we get there.
I think it's good. Yeah, because then it's not in your head. You don't know what it's going to do. You just got to stay in the middle and keep your head down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All I got to do is my part, and hopefully it works out.
Hey, Jesse Cruz joining us, the 2009 world champ, but no PRCA or very little PRCA events this year. Are you going to be a lot of Northern Rodeo?
Yeah, I'm going to enter every circuit rodeo they let me in, and go to as many other ones as I can, try to get stuff rolling. So,
how tough has it been these last few months not having rodeo? I mean, you and Lindsay were supposed to be in Florida. That didn't happen. You tried to do the Southern swing, but then COVID happens, and it's just, how tough has it been?
It's been pretty tough. The only thing that's kind of saved us is, I guess, for being on the board, not having nothing to do, is this new place. It's dang sure keeping us busy.
Well, that is true. Your house is going to get done a lot more quickly than you'd think. But there's a lot of people, Jesse, that this is their livelihood, like you and your wife, Lindsay. And this is how you guys get up and down the year. And how frustrated are you guys?
A guy can get as mad as he wants to get and be down in his sorrows, but it is what it is. Everybody's going through it, and
the guy's just got to do what he's got to do until, it kicks off again, hopefully, but we will see.
Jesse Cruz joining us here on the Jason Walker Show, Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. So you don't know anything about your horse.
No, sir.
Beneficial. You don't know. What do you know about? I mean, take me through Birch comparison to like a Sankey bronc or a Kessler bronc.
I don't know if I can do that, tell you the truth.
Oh, really?
Everybody's got good horses, and, it's just like every one of them's got to have a bad day here and there. But, all them guys, they may not have every horse be good that day, but they're all good horses. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just like you having a bad day.
Yeah, but I still got to sound good on the air. I can fake it pretty good, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Sure.
Jesse Cruz, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. When you look at this list of guys that are going to be in Jordan, I mentioned some of the big boys, but there's some great riders from Montana in there as well, and some smaller type guys that people may not know about. This would be a good opportunity to go see a guy like an Andrew Evgene or a Tanner Butner and guys like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're going to be drawing good horses, so you'll get to see what they can do, and like I said, get to watch all these great horses. So
you've had a chance, 2009 World Championship, and you're not old, but you're old in rodeo age. There's a lot of great youngsters coming up in the saddle bronc riding. Does that give you hope that it's gonna, we're okay, and the bronc riding is going to continue to be successful?
Yeah, it's always good to see these good kids rolling up and sticking to the rodeo heritage, and so it's nice to see that they'll probably be entered. So if I'm not at a rodeo, I will be there.
Yeah,
probably not riding, but.
Well, it's great to see you ride, and the more we get to see you ride, the better, because we're losing a lot of our older generation retiring, and I'm glad to see you're still going at it, my friend.
Just not smart enough to step away yet.
Well, you're still on the top of your game, pretty much. So, a couple more tries at the national finals, I'm sure, is in your inside your jet stream, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, a guy's always got to be trying for that.
Absolutely. Hey man, I wish you the best. I hope to see you in Jordan. I haven't decided if I'm going to trek the 5.5 hours from Helena yet, but it's easier to get to Spokane than it is to get to Jordan from Helena. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can.
Hey, I hope to see you. If not, I will definitely see you this summer somewhere. And take care, ride safe, and have fun.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That's Jesse Cruz, a 2009 world champ, joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. What a great family. And the kids are fantastic. But man, super, super fun. So yeah, Jordan, Montana this week, and big saddle bronc riding coming up at Jordan. Oh, I should just go. But it's Father's Day. Do I want to be away from the kids? I don't know. I don't know. We might end up there. We'll see. Anyway, thanks to Jesse Cruz for joining us. So much fun talking to him and just people in general. Oh, I got this Podbean. Hello to Juan Gomes. Is it Gomes or Gomez? Juan, listening in Brazil to the Jason Walker Show today. Get your senior portrait booked or your family portrait booked, and mention you are booking because of the Jason Walker Show, and Mark's going to give you a free 8x10 canvas or matte print. And if you purchase something from Mark LaRoe Photography, from the Spirit of the Big Sky Gallery, Mark will give you 20% off if you mention Jason Walker Show. So this is from a couple of years ago at the Townsend NRA Rodeo. That guy right there is Dick Lyman, one of the best in the business of just life. Coach Lyman, when he was at Providence or UGF, unbelievable help, and just a great, great guy, and love the Lyman family for sure. But get a hold of MarkLaRoePhotography.com. All right, let's do On This Day in History. It is brought to you by the Mother Lode. Oh, before we get to that, we got Merrick at the Movies. Merrick's back. Let's do this edition.
This is Merrick Parnell with another movie recommendation for Merrick at the Movies. Our first recommendation for football movies is The Waterboy. It's laugh out loud funny from Adam Sandler in 1998 in his prime. Adam Sandler plays Bobby Boucher, the classic football-playing redneck. Any Given Sunday is next, the 1999 film starring Al Pacino, who plays the classic coach. Dennis Quaid is the old vet quarterback, while Jamie Foxx is the new up-and-comer. It's a great drama about an inside look to professional football. George Clooney plays Dodge Connolly, the coach and star player of the Duluth Bulldogs in professional football's early years in the 1920s. Friday Night Lights is our last pick, and high school football does not get any bigger than in the state of Texas. The movie follows the Odessa Perman Panthers as they're led by the dynamic coach, played by Billy Bob Thornton, in an all-star cast that also has country singer Tim McGraw. This has been Merrick at the Movies.
There you go, Merrick at the Movies. Of course, there's so many other ones. North Dallas 40. You could think of Wildcats. You mentioned Friday Night Lights, but what about Varsity Blues? The whipped cream scene in Varsity Blues. Ali Larder, James Vanderbeek. I mean, yeah. So there you go. All right, now let's get to On This Day, brought to you by the Motherlode. Don't forget to get down to the Motherlode and get your trifecta in for tomorrow's Belmont. Okay? 'Tis the law to win. Today is June the 19th. It is National Flip-Flop Day. I'm guessing it's the shoe wear flip-flop day, not Democrats. National Take Back Lunch Break Day, Garfield the Cat Day. Garfield first appeared on this date. National Martini Day. Not a martini guy. I had a buddy who played semi-pro hockey who loved apple martinis. Dude was like 6'6", like 250. He loved apple martinis. National Watch Day. It is Wear Blue Day, so I got my old school Helena Brewers sweatshirt on. And, of course, it is Juneteenth as well, when the last slaves found out about the Emancipation Proclamation in Texas, and essentially slavery came to its final end, 1865. So today is Juneteenth. It is on this date in 1846, the first officially recognized baseball game. The New York Nines defeated the Knickerbockers 23-1 in Hoboken, New Jersey. 1867, you heard Barry Abrams talk about it. Gilbert Gilpatrick aboard Ruthless won the first Belmont in 3 minutes, 5 seconds. In 1894, at the 28th Belmont, so 27 years later, the winning time, 156.5. So a full minute in 27 years plus disappeared. Willie Sims aboard Henry of Navarre won. Paavo Nurmi, the Flying Finn, 1922, ran a world record 5,000 meter in 1428.2. And then 2 years later on this date, the Flying Finn ran a world record 1,500 in 352.6. He would have been fun to watch race against, like Secretariat. 1946, the first TV sports boxing spectacular. Joe Louis KOs Billy Conn. Brooklyn Dodger Carl Erskine no-hit Chicago on this date in 1952. Jim Bouton's book Ball 4 came out on this date in 1970. Fantastic book. Evander Holyfield in 1992, he still had both of his ears. He beat Larry Holmes in 12 for the heavyweight boxing title. And in 1903, happy birthday on this date, Lou Gehrig was born. 1962, Paula Abdul, former Laker girl. And 1978, Dirk Nowitzki was born in Würzburg, Germany. So happy birthday to Dirk. All right, let's do this.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Great week of shows today. Well, we had a great week of shows, yes, today. But great week of shows. Barry Abrams, Jesse Cruz today. Don't forget SankeyProRodeo.com if you want to check out the drive-in rodeos. Also, big Saddle Bronc event up at Jordan this weekend on Sunday. Neil Hines joined us yesterday. Montana weather storm chaser. Sheila Williams, former track coach for Helena High Girls. Sage Newman, Deb Greeno, Allie Whaley. Next week, Jennifer Boca will talk Nile 2.0 on Monday. Nick McCarville will join us on Tuesday. and a whole lot more coming up. Have yourself a great weekend. Be safe. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco. 625 Euclid. Shrimp etouffee. Sounds good for the weekend. We'll see you back here Monday at 4.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.